When I was younger, football ran in the family. My grandpa played, my dad, my uncles, my cousins, and we all played from the time we were 6. I didn't have the God given talent for football that my dad, grandpa, and uncles all had. I didn't share the same love for football that they did. Coaches didn't ever give me the time of day, always switching my position, trying to figure out where I fit in. But I was tired of always coming up short. Coaches telling me I was too small or not fast enough. I was a young kid, and always being told I wasn't good enough was hard. It carried over into school. I had a pretty low self-esteem. My dad actually got me a signed copy of the movie Rudy and told me, "Your size doesn't matter. If you try hard enough, you'll find a way." He taught me to never quit. He taught me that hard work can take you anywhere you need to go. In 6th grade, I was introduced to wrestling. My mom and dad wanted me to find a new sport since I was having so much trouble with football. Things began to change. My first year, I finished with a winning record. At first, it was just for fun. I made a lot of great friends. My self-esteem improved greatly because wrestling wasn't based on size. It was based on heart, hard work, and developing your talents. This is where my love for wrestling began. I played football from 6 years old to my sophomore year of high school. After my sophomore year, I was tired of the politics. I had grown to resent football, especially since I did so well in wrestling my freshman and sophomore years, lettering and qualifying for regional both years. I told my parents that I would never see state on a football field, but with wrestling, I believed I had a chance. I wasn't the most talented wrestler, but I made up my mind that I was going to find a way to get there. I went to as many camps as I could, 6 hours a day, sleeping on wrestling mats. I ate, slept, and breathed wrestling. I worked as hard as I could every day at practice and pushed myself on the mat in tournaments, always testing myself. Once season came around, I was ready. All of the hard work I put in over summer paid off. I won my conference, took second at sectionals, and third at regionals. I was on my way to semi-state. I was ecstatic. The whole week I was anxious and nervous. I was not ready when semi-state rolled around. I was unprepared, and it showed. I was devastated, but I knew I couldn't give up. The Monday after, I was in the weight room, hell-bent on redemption, set a goal, and I was going to achieve it. I was in the weight room every day. I had my goal in mind every day. It was like an obsession. I trained twice as hard and got as much mat time as I could, working harder and harder each day, knowing it was all for one thing. I came into my senior season full force. I was making it to state, and no one was stopping me. I lost one time in the regular season. Postseason came around, and it was time to grind. I had to be at my best every match. I knew I had my work cut out for me, but I knew I was prepared. I won conference, sectionals, regionals, and placed 4th at semi-state. I was on my way to my final goal, to place at state. I was ready. This time I knew I had to keep my head on straight. I was anxious, but ready for what was in store. I sat in my classes on Friday, only focused on one thing, the first match. The first match was the key to placing. You win your first match, and you place. The call came, 4th period. It was time to go. Conseco Fieldhouse, home of the Pacers. But that night, it was home to 208 wrestlers, all fighting for the same thing. 16 wrestlers in each bracket, and by the end of the night, only 8 would remain. The hallways lined with coaches and wrestlers, everyone in their own world, everyone preparing for what was about to happen. We were all packed in a small gym. Names were being called left and right, upsets and wins being announced, my heart pounding out of my chest. Finally, I hear the announcer say, "Max Dole, on deck." I started warming up, staring out into the crowd. It was intense, a sea of people cheering. This is what I came for. This is why I worked so hard. It was time. I pulled off my sweats and ran onto the mat. Shake hands. The whistle blows.